We got to talk about two issues today. The auction house Sotheby's is reacting to numbers that appear to be Brexit related, and secondly, is being implicated in the US class action lawsuit over NFTs by Bored Ape Yacht Club. So a 4% less profit after tax, namely £26.2 million last year, compared to £34.5 million in 2021. These are the clear figures that Sotheby's has recently entered for the UK branch of its business in the company's house register. In the entry, the company cites Brexit as a risk factor for trade in the United Kingdom, which has made it more difficult to import and export goods and made the sales of goods in Great Britain less attractive. When asked by a German newspaper, the company pointed in a statement that this risk warning was not a statement for business activities. The company's house entry contained incomplete data relating to a separate entity and did not adequately represent the house's global and UK business. Last year, Sotheby's London posted its highest consolidated sales in 2018 at $1.4 billion. After Brexit, it was no surprise then that auction giant Sotheby's would secure a location in mainland Europe. The fact that auctions are now to be held in Germany here is not only due to the sheer size of the most populous EU country. The auction house will conduct auctions from Cologne starting in the autumn. After Brexit, it was only a matter of time before the auction giants re-established themselves on the European mainland. After all, the respective export and import regulations not only make the cross-border movement of goods more expensive, but also more complicated, despite all the government assurances previously expressed. Currently, the transport of a work of art alone, for various reasons, there are capacity bottlenecks, fees and so on, worth €10,000 can account for around 10% of the value one way. And with works in the millions in the 7 to 9 digit range, which are traditionally and probably also in the future traded almost exclusively in New York or London, the additional expenses due to the expected additional proceeds seem to be negligible though. But for the so-called middle market up to around €300,000, Brexit means a huge locational disadvantage for the British art trade or art trade with Great Britain. The big auction houses in particular are under pressure. Even without Britain's exit from the European single market, they felt compelled to cut costs. For mass business on this side of the prestigious and high turnover evening auctions, this has already meant doing away with printed catalogs and switching from physical to online auctions. So it makes sense to go where the goods are with a mobile business, and that's on the mainland. That's probably where most of the buyers are as well. The fact that Paris, where Christie's has been making life difficult for French auction houses for many years, or Amsterdam, where Sotheby's had to liquidate the old master dealer Nordman, which it has just taken over a decade ago, was not chosen as the headquarter of its mainland activities, should not only be due to the sheer size of Germany with the biggest population in Europe. It shouldn't just be the buyers who are interested in Sotheby's. Supplying supplies has proven to be much more important for auctioneers in the recent years. And Germany has a lot to offer there. After all, important private collections have been created here over the past few decades, all of which will eventually be inherited. All auctioneers want to get hold of this treasure of private estates. What has been collected since the 1960s and 70s is gradually coming onto the market. Close contact with heirs and descendants often means a decisive advantage over the competition. But it is probably even more important to be able to make a complete offer to those who want to sell, so that the families do not have to burden themselves with the small-scale distribution of the middle goods after the auction giants have cherry-picked their stuff. In the United States, meanwhile, the company is facing trouble over non-fungible tokens. The class action lawsuit filed in a district court in California by investors who had invested in NFT trading cards with images of bored monkeys from the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or BAYC, now add Sotheby's to the list of defendants, in addition to the company behind the monkey NFTs, Yuga Labs, and celebrities who generated attention for its NFTs. These would have misleadingly advertised the blockchain tokens and artificially inflated the prices, which have meanwhile fallen sharply. Plaintiffs are seeking more than $5 million in damages. In September 2021, Sotheby's brokered around 100 NFTs for over $24 million to a single buyer. Crypto scene observers have suggested that BAYC tokens have passed into the ownership of the now collapsed blockchain trading platform FTX of imprisoned founder Sam Bankman-Fried, who is accused of large-scale fraud and money laundering. Sotheby's dismisses all allegations in class action as baseless. The auction house would be ready to defend itself vigorously. Its NFT department has recently significantly reduced the number of staff, but we will see how this will continue. But I thought I want to give you the complete story, and then there were two big stories on Sotheby's this week, and so I decided to keep them both in this video. And if you want to get more information about Brexit or British politics, the next video is here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.